Today's first impressions video is on Barista Simulator, a game where you can own your very own coffee shop. It's an interesting take and it follows a very similar sort of formula for these sort of simulators, which is perfectly fine, it's perfectly functional. There are a few things that I feel like they could maybe make improvements on, but this is early access and there are many things that can change, and overall I am very impressed. As always, we'll look through the options first and we will say what I like and dislike about the game after that. Your options are unfortunately very disappointing. Now again, I cannot stress enough that this is early access and hopefully they will go in and make some additions and some changes to this. You get the option to invert your mouse, you get the option to cap your FPS, change your FOV, your sensitivity, music and sounds, and that is pretty much it as far as gameplay goes. Also, it's kind of ugly and the bars don't really make much sense because there is no sort of gauge about how loud or quiet this is, and I will say that the music and the sounds are incredibly loud on my headset, at least when turned up. Like, it's very, very low, and yet on my headset it's still very, very deafening. It feels like they could maybe make some changes there. And whilst that's bad, your graphics options are even worse. They don't exist. And this is not good enough on a game that has got so much going on, and a lot of these simulators are either poorly optimized or just incredibly intensive on your system, to have no way to customize it to your specific system outside of ultra, very low, low, medium, high, ultra, and it just scrolls through. It's 2023, I expect a hell of a lot better, and hopefully they will go in and add some graphic options later on. Not really much else to say because there's nothing to critique, because there's nothing here, and I am very disappointed about that. Thankfully, the gameplay does redeem it a little bit. Okay, so we're in the game. You have a bed, which is where you will save, and you will also be able to speed up time, as you are only able to run your coffee shop between certain hours. Now, I don't know if later on in the game you get the ability to sort of make that better and you're able to, run for longer. And this shows us our first issue of the day. You have to physically open up the shop, but then after that, every time you go anywhere near the door, it just flies open. But after that, it is pretty much business as usual. You will get a customer that comes in and they will have their name and they will have their order. You will have a certain amount of time in order to make the drink. So as you can see, it's a doppio. If you're not sure what it is that you have to make, you can check the recipe book and you can check these, right? So you look at this, it's just an espresso by 60 mils, so that's basically a double. So then you have to make the actual drink itself. You've got your espresso machine here, you've got your grinder, you've got your knockbox, which is where you get rid of all your coffee beans, you've got your shot glasses here, and then you've got all your different coffees and stuff up here as well. Now, if I had a major qualm with the game, it's that it doesn't have the consistency with the controls that you would maybe expect. And as we saw from the options menu, there is no customization, so you can't change that. And what I mean is, some things you can just click on and it will work. Other times you've got to hold certain keys, right? So I can just hit my mouse button on the knockbox stand, and then if I want to put it back in there, I just click it. But to take it out again, I have to press my button and hold it. And I don't quite know why they didn't just make it click on it to pick it up. I honestly don't. For filling, it's a little bit different. I don't mind the fact that I've got to press a couple of keys in order to fill it. But if I just want to pick something off the shelf, let me just pick something off the shelf. It doesn't make sense as to why they've made it so finicky for some things and then other things they've not. And this is a lot of button pressing as well. And it seems to make it take longer than what it should do. And I have put it down when I didn't want to, so we're going to fill it up. outside of the finickiness and outside of the sort of very long-winded way that everything is sort of done, it's not a bad game. Like it's very therapeutic making your coffees. The one thing I would say is that this thing takes far too long. And again, I don't know if as you go to the shop you can, buy greater things. I don't know if it makes it, yeah, it makes it faster. So the first one is slow by default, and then as you unlock them, you can get faster in different types, and you can do more at once, etc., etc. The pricing is obviously not scaled very well at all, and that's just to be expected with these games. I think one of these coffees is like 50. I don't think it matters if you write on the cup in a specific way. I think that's just more for later on when you have more customers coming in as you get busier and busier. You have to order things. You get tips, which you can empty out later on to get a bonus, which is nice. And you just go through the day. You've got to keep an eye on the time. You're not allowed to go longer than 8 o'clock at night. Again, like I say, I don't know if that will increase later on as well. Your shop, you've got a lot of things here. You've got your main, so you can see any reviews you get. As you can see, people really like me. It's not too difficult. It doesn't tend to give you too much. You've got mini coffee cups for, so it shows you what you're going to need to buy of. And you can go into supply. We can go some cups here. We're going to get some minis. We're going to get some of them. We're going to get some of them. And you go here and you order. The ordering makes me giggle because it just kind of drives by and flings it into the car park, which is honestly very typical of most actual delivery services these days. So we just want a simple mini espresso here. So we're just going to write on here. We're just going to write a smiley face and all that good stuff. You don't need to do that, I don't think. I don't think it actually plays a major part, but it's fun to do, isn't it? So yeah, as you can see now, we're getting popular. We're getting more people coming in. So we're going to have to speed up a little bit. And this is the game. This is what you're going to spend your time doing. You know, you can go through. You've got to keep the store clean. And this is where you can take advantage of your slow espresso machine, because you can do other stuff whilst you're waiting for it to, make the espresso. Which is kind of handy. I keep doing that. I keep putting it down, and I don't mean to. I want to actually fill that like so. Like I say, it doesn't seem to deviate too much from other simulators of this type, right? It seems very straightforward in that it is sort of everything that's going on, right? It's very similar to other simulators that are out there where you've got to keep things clean and you've got to keep your customers happy. There's a cigarette down there. I will say that it's interesting that they've got cigarettes that people will bring in, because that's not really something that you see in today's sort of day and age, right? There we go. Picked it up. There you go. Cool. Right, we got one. So she wants a doppio, which is basically a double. So we're going to go like here. But this is the game. This is what you do. You will spend your time making coffees and clearing up after people. Can I pick that up? Can I mix blends? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I can. Interesting. So, yeah. I mean, this is very much a game that I do enjoy. This is something that I will spend my time doing. It will be interesting to see how much you can unlock as you go on, and how busy you're going to get, and how many people are going to get annoyed with you. If you get difficult customers, what happens if you get bad reviews, etc. And again, the game is in early access. The biggest issue I've got with it, outside of it being a bit clunky, is more so the fact that the options are just not there. right? There are no options. You can forgive the graphics of the people because the graphics of everything else isn't actually that bad. You know, it's very simplistic, but it does the job. It'd be interesting to get some different furniture in here and to see what else you can do. We're going to take the bin there. I'm going to pick that up. And I can see it getting very crazy later on as well, right? Like we've currently got what, 2 people waiting, and I'm getting a lot of rubbish already. It seems like I'm getting a lot of people that are coming in and sort of walking out straight away, which is interesting. I need a cup for this one. And we were right on it. I for indie. There you go. So yeah, it's simplistic, but I can see it getting very not simplistic later on. I actually quite enjoy it, as you can tell, because I'm just kind of sat here playing. And hopefully this will give you an idea of whether the game is up your street or not. They're angry. I don't know why they're angry. I don't know what's up with them. So yeah, there you go. This is Barista Simulator. You've got many different things that you can do. Many different things you probably don't want to do. People that walk in, people that walk out. You get a time limit. I don't know. And the most expensive coffees in the world as well, obviously. So let me know in those comments down below if this is a game that you would purchase for yourself, if this is a game you would enjoy. And I will see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.